programmer and a hardcore otaku, Kurata Sabaza, is killed in a road accident one night while crossing a shopping for anime models. It is the year 1268. Carriage carries a mother with her 3-year-old boy
son
of similar stature than his age, and the grandfather. When they're suddenly attacked by beasts helpless, the child is left alone in the crushing carriage when massive robotic knights appear. Saving the trio, the knights remind Ernesty, the small boy, of his past life. He is Kurana, who's been reincarnated into a world where humans fight in silhouette knights. Ernest, overwhelmed, seeing his father climb down one of the knights, and decides his ultimate goal: to be a knight runner, piloting the silhouette knights that resemble his beloved anime models. Ernest. He studies rigorously until he joins the Hyla Pilot Academy with his twin best friends of L. Trude and Arkid. He befriends and knightsmith boy Bastion to accompany his dream of creating a knight from scratch among his small stature. By 12, Ernesty has become popular for his intelligence and got upgraded to higher classes. However, his end goal is to learn about the ether reactor, a knight's heart, and a national secret. One day when they're on a field trip, a mob of monsters attacks the kids, endangering the older children out on the field, including Stefania, the twins' half-sister. Ernesty and his friends clutch their moment to shine and successfully fight the mob off together, with the night runner sent off to guard the kids. Little do they know, there lurks a greater threat. The students of Hyla Academy shuffle, relocating themselves after the sudden attack, unaware that a massive division-level beast has alerted the kingdom's forces and is making its way towards them. Just as they tended their injured, the beast comes upon them. The sight is horrifying. Yet the silhouette knight runners, Edgar Helvey and Dedrick, together with the other knights, are confident and set off to distract it while the kids flee. The beast breathes out a lethal breath of fire, melting one of the knights before sight, and it's enough to send Dietrich running from the grounds maniacally. Ernesty catches a glimpse of Dietrich fleeing and hops away as the kids move out. There he finds Dietrigo must losing it and excitedly takes over the knight. Sitting inside, he starts upgrading it with his past life programmer brain. Soon he's up, escalated and into the fight. Ernest gallops towards the beast, managing to capture its full attention to him. It's his first piloting experience, and the little boy's more excited than afraid. Unable to land a fatal blow, Ernesty learns that its skin is unpieceable. As poor Dietrich shouting in the back, the forces arrived, trying to handle the situation. To no avail. However, Ernest has found a way to defeat the beast. He strikes lightning into its brain through an impaled sword in its eye, putting it out like a candle, and collapsing happily. Just as Edgar pays his respects at the fall of a mighty knight, out pops out Ernesty with Daytree. Ernest has piloted his first knight and has astonished everyone. The story spreads fast, reaching powerful nobles and the king. Ernest presented before the king, who's proud to see a young boy achieve so much on the battleground. Happy, he offers the grant of a wish. Damn time, Ernesty grabs his chance, asking for the knowledge of the reactor, baffling the nobles present in the court, especially a man called the Dixguard. However, the king agrees if Ernesty can convince him with an upgraded new body of a silhouette knight. The twins' father, coming to know of it, also asks them to inform him of any developments. Excited, or nasty meets his friends knightsmiths Edgar, Helby and Dietrich with plans. Sketching out the initial additions, rest the guides, the smiths to use a weaving technique of the crystal threads in knights, and to add 2 more hands above, carrying added firepower, making the body small for added mobility. They present plans to way higher up in the academy, obtaining permission to start on their project. Ernesty's dream finally takes its first baby steps. He also invents mini knights as a prototype to understand the complexity of a smaller knight body, but they come out as optimized handyman suits, but better for the laboring knightsmiths. Soon the prototype Tellus stall is ready as Helvey runs a trial with it. Amazing everyone, she even gets down to the arena to have a test fight with Edgar in his normal silhouette knight suit. However, just as she's about to bust them out proudly, the prototype's mana drains, killing her hopes of victory. The suit needs more optimization. However, unknown to them, their developments being spied on, Waller Nest adds weaponry options, the small suits to act as mini soldiers. They keep running into a dead end with Talostalus issues. However, Ernest is optimistic that they'll find a way. The twins also hesitantly inform their father of the developments, who in return informs Dixguard. Soon the cluster of students, knightsmiths, and knight runners are paid a visit by his soldiers, ordering them to bring the prototypes with appropriate personnel to Fort Casitas. Dixguard shall personally inspect and test it. The prototypes make their way together with Ernesty towards the fort, but run into shaker-worm beasts. There the prototypes handle their first actual fight, coming out victorious, unaware that this was planned by the order of the Bronze Fang spies. that have been observing the prototype's developments. The group arrives at the fort, and Dixgard is quite jealous of the little boy. Is explained to everything regarding the Telestoli and its future plans. However, he announces that he'll be reporting to the king himself, and not Ernesting, only to be frustratingly astonished when Ernesty doesn't mind. Ernesty clarifies that his aim is not material gain or fame. He's just in it purely for his dream and astonishment of the Silhouette Knights. He trusts Dixgard with the information forwarding, and perhaps gains Dixgard's like, at the very least. Back at the academy, the obsessed, adulterated Mrs. Ernesty and the friends decide to fetch him. However, Mar is to come, as the Order of the Bronze Fang prepares to unleash a beast attack, coming up with the cunning plan to upgrade Dietrich's knight into Telestol and bring it to fort. Together with these small suits, the friends set off to the fort, unaware that it's been infiltrated by the Order of the Bronze Fang to steal the Telestol. They face the Ford's forces, ultimately coming across the commander in his knight, wielding a master of hammer. Yet the Order's leader, Kurhild, manages to escape with one. That's when she comes across Edgar, Dietrich and Bastian, his father and the twins on the way. Thinking of them as reinforcements, Kurhild opens fire. Bastian's father books the carriage towards the fort. However, the twins get in the mini-suit, flying off to help Edgar and the trick handle Kurhild. Reaching the fort, they inform Ernest, who gets in one of the mini-suits as well, taking down the infiltrators at the fort before heading to help his friend. With the commander, Edgar gives chase. The girl held while his twins manage to take down one of the enemy men. However, Kurhild, with the power of Telestala, inflicts a fatal blow at Edgar and successfully escapes. But the time Nasty and the commander arrive, they're surrounded by dual-level beasts. Thank God this time, the troop doesn't wet his pants and fights alongside his friends. They grasp victory, but lose one of the Telestale to Kurhild. It's suspected that another country's hand lies in the attack. Sensing needed security, the king declares a new knightly order, the Order of the Silver Phoenix, under Ernest's command. Ernest dreams of his beloved enemy models, unable to grasp them in his dream before waking up to adult turd, smothering him. Ernesty and his friends return to the academy, as the remaining Telestoles are sent to the nation's largest night lab to be observed. The chief there is losing his mind of the genius. At the academy, Dukesgard sends a bunch of knights for Ernesty to begin his development. Once again, they're given the notice to prepare their prototypes for the upcoming battle, where they shall face the lab's prototypes. Ernesty is excited, not in his dream, but he'll surely bring the models to life in his creations. Julian Otaku, to the last breath. The Silver Phoenix works on the new knights, adding all sorts of features like boosters and shields to the bodies. Meanwhile, the informant cells are Nasty of the spies arrested in the academy. The improvements keep excelling day by day, with Nasty even coming up with a two-seated version for the twins. He also adds magical dagger keys to start the knights and avoid any future hijacking. At least they're ready. The day of the clash arrives, and the feisty lab chief proudly presents the upgraded Telestella's version, the Kelda Toa. However, nothing could prepare them for what Ernesty had brought. Out comes a four-legged duo, piloted Zeldin, resembling a horse, carrying the three other knights, all with their baffling modifications. His creations make the king's eyes glisten, as the chief shrieks, in frustrated wonder, standing before each other. The lab's and the order's creation baffle the audience. However, the thrill is to come once the clash commences. Right from the start, it's Ernesty that takes all the cheer. Powering his suit, he gives the king more to all at, as his knight flies, taking one of the opponents. Immediately, the Zellong itself is impressive, dodging, charging, and piloted by the twins. Edgar, with the shield 9, proves an excellent defense, together with the defensive Knight of Dietrich's. However, though earnest, these creations are powerful. They lack mobility, like that of the lab's knights, hence receiving a strong fight. The king, having seen enough, calls the clash a draw, as the chief rushes down to question her, Nasty about all sorts of things. He selfishly spills all the beans to him with glistening, ambitious eyes. Soon the lab starts mass-producing its version. Waller Nest, they upgrade the Zildong to a single pilot. The king climbs down the throne, giving it to Leo, Thomas his son. Ernesty and his friend also graduate middle school, and their operations are given more official value as they move to the newly built toward Robesius soon. The former king and his grandson, Prince Emirs, summon her nesting, asking him to make them an excellent piece of a knight. Sure, sir, this kid can do magic. Ernesty soon presents them with his impressive powerhouse knives, the Golden Lion and the Silver Tiger. The creations even make the former king and the grandson tussle for the best piece. You never beat two muscle heads going at it. That omens upon the kingdom, as news of a massive horde of shell case beasts is reported. Worst of all, they seem to be moving towards Alpha High, the base of Ether Reactor's construction. If it's gone, so is the nation's capability to build the Silhouette Knights. And no way Ernesty is not allowing his dream to go down that easy. The lab knights line the border and the base of Alphine, but the beasts are too savage. That's when Ernest and his even more upgraded versions of knights, together with the former king and emirates, drop in, wiping the mass. The friends and Ernest go further to find the queen beast and are baffled. Upon seeing the massive creature, however, Ernest skillfully takes it down. His victory is enough for the former king to finally grant his wish. The Ether Reactor's knowledge. Ernest is taken to Alphine home, to the Alves, accompanied by the former king and director Alvar, Alphine's ambassador. Ernest is presented before Great Elder Kitley, the advisor of the elves, who grants him permission to gain the knowledge. Ernest spends the next 3 months rigorously studying the Ether Reactor's wonders and archives, far more than what the Great Elder Kitley had anticipated, especially because it's only Al who are able to mold Ether Reactors. Yet Ernest has always been surprising. With enough gain, Ernesto returns to Port Orobesius and starts to work on his greatest dream, to build the Knight from scratch, even the Ether Reactor. In the end, Ernest made his dream come true. It presents his very own and the most impressive silhouette, Knight Ikaruga. While Ernest has finally carved his own knight, many dark things are coming towards him. The Zeladek kingdom plans for a war. Their king stands before its army of black knights, ready to take off the western states, vulnerable to their newfound power. The knights first start marching towards the kingdom of Kushparisha. Kushparisha's nobles are worried about the oncoming threat, yet are confident they'll face it. However, their hopes are to be shattered. Zeladeg's black knights reach the foot of the capital. The king has put his egoistic son, Prince Crystal Ball, to fetch victory. With defeat inevitable, Kasparcha's king sends his daughter, Eleonora Montmentina, and cousin Isadola, to Fremaville, while he duels with Crystal Ball to buy enough time to escape. However, the good king falls to Crystal Ball with his life lost and the royal women abducted while trying to escape. The news of the king's death puts Eleonora in despair. Kaspacha falls the Zoldyck. At the mouth of the trading capital of Kaspada, there comes veiled Ernesti and Emeris with 4-legged knights. Upon confirming that Kuspinitra has fallen, Ernest and Emeris expose their magnificent knights, opening fire. Ernestus Ikaruga becomes a deadly knight, and with victory, his stories spread throughout Zoldyck. He's called the Reaper. They discovered the Black Knights of the same technology as the Telestellas, proving that Zoldyck facilitated the heist. However, things worsen, and through Nasty's informant, they get to hear of the forced marriage Princess Eleanor has been pushed into with Crystal Ball. Zoldyck even sends the track the Reaper and his party, but leaves defeated. Despite their flying ships, Ernesti and his friends start making plans to rescue the royal women. And now, it's time to rescue said royal women. Ernesti and Emirates, after defeating the postcards, infiltrate the capital of Kufsberga. Together with the twins, they gear up in the midnight suits and sneak into the taken castle. There Ernest, he saves the aunt, while Emeris goes to save his sister. Isidola, our kid, ends up in Eleanor's quarters, saving her and quite possibly becoming her love interest. The rescue leaves Zela quite furious, sending the genius behind the Black Knight and ships design Gojos after the Reaper. With the upgraded ship he's made, Congest ship encounters Ernesti's party, and Ernesti's absolutely delighted seeing the masterpiece ship sail above them. Drawing up his suit, aka the Reaper, Nesty flies to the ship and gives him just as much of a shock and delight. The Gojos, he can't believe the genius design of Ernest Ikaruga, sends the ship and defeat, but the two creators are impressed by each other's creations and become the center of the raging war. The royal women are escorted safely, where Ernest presents an offer to the remaining suspension army. He'd like to upgrade their knights in exchange for the remains of whichever Black Knight they defeat. The suspensions agreed to the terms, and soon an upgraded army of them effectively starts defeating the Black Knights. Ernesti also plans on developing anti-air weapons to deal with Zoldyck's ships. Zoldyck is still frustrated with kidnapping the princess and sends Kerhelt for the job. However, this time, when she meets Edgar, he doesn't let her go alive, safeguarding the princess effectively, and serves her right. Upon learning where the princess is being kept safe, Crystal Ball enthusiastically prepares his forces and heads towards Yashir. Gojas also rides in one of the ships, getting excited to see more of a glimpse of her nest. These creations. They enter the city raging. They're surprised to not receive any retaliation, but fell right into a trap. The knights hidden below firelights to see the ships. And that's when Ernesti's new anti-air weapon, the javelins, come into action in a swift motion. They start shooting the massive ship, leaving Gil Joes with white eyes. The Black Knights on the ground also to the four-legged knights, and the Labs Knights. Scared, Crystal Ball starts retreating, but is caught by her nasty famed Reaper. However, Maniac seems self-defeated. Crystal Ball shoots his own ship, killing himself to death and destroying his creation secrets to prevent them from getting into Ernesti's grasp. Ernesti finds this Heroic Ernesty, with the help of the fallen knights and ships, manages to decode how the ships were kept levitated. He's truly impressed by Gojo and wishes to meet him to learn more. Meanwhile, Zoldyck is weakened and pushed back, allowing Expansion to retake the city. Eleonora is declared queen, and her beloved love interest, our kid, makes her personal knight. And of course, we know why. An official agreement is made for friend to help Gryffindor to the end of the war. From Vol's forces, equipped with her nest, these knights keep pushing Zoldyck back until they one day come across the horrendous-looking Viper, Gojo's ultimate creation, a ship shaped like a massive dragon. To avenge Prince Crystal Ball's death, it's Viper that Gojo's had come with it. Now looms up Ernesty's forces with its impeccable power, amazing defense, and a monstrous lark. Amazed, Ernesty takes combating it into his own hand, and is more than shocked upon seeing the Viper deploy lightning defense when he shoots at it. The Viper also seems to take little damage from the previously lethal javelins, as it easily shoots them down. Ernesty is further stunned by seeing the knight-attached survivor. That helped it attack even more, both taken by amazement and challenged. Ernesty charges and is able to land some good shots when the Viva gets ready to defend itself against the javelins. Below, Dietrich battles Gustav, though he had previously fought, tricking him into draining his mana. He leaves him running away. However, above, both Viva and Ernesty are hot in battle. The Viva's smoke bomb makes Ernest's jets malfunction as it falls down, engaging in a splendid blast as his and Viva's shots collide. Soon a retreat sign appears, making the Viper and its forces leave. The battle ends in a tie. It's the first time Nesty and his forces have faced so much destruction. They truly have to come up with something to face the Viper off. Charging under Queen Eleonora's guide Ernestions, all the Wicks forces once again collide. However, this time, as the Viper appears, Ernest rises with his own version of Ikaruga ship, a massive structure he adapted from Zoldyck's ships. Gojo's is excited to see the battle with the Viper. Before Ernest's upgraded Ikaruga, the battle turned not just between the kingdoms, but it's a battle between the genius of Gojo's and Ernest. Ernest is confident in his new unit and charges at the Viper with all of his might this time. As it nears the Viper, Ikaruga shoots javelins at the ship. However, they once again disarm it. But that's not all. The javelins cover the ship in oil, since they explode, making Arnasti light the whole Viper ship up like a candle. It truly enthralls Gojo's. However, he too hasn't come unprepared. He shows the Viva's true form and releases the dragon's blood. A massive shield erupts around the ship, multiplying its size to a humongous range. Truly a masterpiece. Below, a company of Ernest's forces infiltrates the ford through underground and takes down the Black Knights within. Outside, Gustav has returned, this time in a royal knight suit, and stands before Edgar. Edgar loses all of his shields to Gustav's manic attacks, and Gustav again falls to the where trick. Edgar makes him stuck onto his suit just as Emerus appears, and goodbye, blows him off with his golden lion. Powerful how Ernesty also manages to break through the Viper's shield, finally defeating it. However, the commander takes the dead off. At the queen, not so fast arc. It jumps onto the ship, killing the commander and saving the queen again. Gotta remember, her favorite knight, a man who's truly husband material with a vibrant following. Ernesty takes the victory. The kingdom of Zoldyck falls, and Ernesty and his friends return to Premville. There, Ernesty is awarded his own lab, and starts an era of immense trade, unaware that Gojo's has survived, and wishes to face him once again. And that's the end of the video as always. If you liked what you saw, subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading a lot of videos just like this, so I'll see you at the next one.